Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me for today's video. So today is a brand new series that I am doing. I now have all three of my brand new mini albums out, released. They are out and ready to purchase and play with. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to start this little series on just start to finish and making the most of all of these die sets. So I have them here. We have the small, we have the medium, and we have the large. So you may notice there's a bit of a packaging change there. We did switch packaging halfway through this mini album, but it will take a while for the old packaging to catch up. So this is the large one, this is the medium, and this one is the small. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you the binding, and the binding is pretty much the same for all three sizes. So I'm going to be working on the small one today. This is my newest release. I do have full tutorials on how to make this album and the large album and the medium album, and I will put those tutorials, their full tutorials, down below in the description box. Make sure you're following my other YouTube channel, which is dedicated to Simply Made Crafts. So the Helen Griffin UK is more or less like memory keeping and scrapbooking and mini albums and anything like that, with the odd gift box popped in, especially when it comes to Christmas. But the Simply Made Crafts is dedicated for all of the Simply Made Crafts die sets and how to use them. But I'm going to keep most of it onto this channel, which is the Helen Griffin UK channel, because this ties in with what I do here, so it's absolutely perfect for that. Okay, so let's get the die set out so I can quickly show you the binding. Okay, so like I said, the binding is the same, they're just different sizes, but the concept is the same. So we have this one here, the small, this one here for the medium, and this one here for the large. Okay, so we have re-released all of these die sets. Again, these are mini album die sets, to include the binding system with the main page dies, so that you don't have to buy any separate sets in order to complete an album. It's all there in each one, in all the right sizes as well. So these are all the other dies here. So we're going to be talking about these two dies here. So again, they're the same for the medium and the large, just in different sizes. Now you may notice we have some dash lines just here. That is because you can trim those down up, those dash lines. I have an example here where you can make a shorter binding system. Oh, got a bit of glue there. There we go. So you can make a shorter one, so you can turn your page die on its side there, just to make an album on its side. So you can make this album in two different orientations. So I do have another sample just here. Here we go. That would be in portrait, and this one will be in landscape. So you have that option with the small, the medium, and the large. Again, I have to keep saying this because I will get questions. The concept is exactly the same in all the sizes. So let's move that aside. We're going to be working with these today. So we are going to be making the portrait version, and then I'm also going to be showing you how to trim these down to make the landscape version. Okay, let's pop those aside. We're going to be needing one of the larger ones and three of the slimmer ones to make your spine system. So okay, so what I was trying to explain was you can use this spine system to make just an ordinary mini album, and the page dies become the outside covers. So these two flaps here on this end will become these two here, the front cover and the back cover, and you'll have 6 pages. So you will need to die cut 8 pages for this spine system, and the 2 outer ones will become the outer covers, so you'll have 6 pages. So that adds up to 8. Or if you wanted to, you can make a wrapped cover, just an ordinary wrapped cover. How I've covered over many years on how to make these wrapped covers on my YouTube channel, and they're, you know, there's they're all over the place. You'll be able to find tutorials anyway. You can just pop your spine system in here and you will have 8 pages. Now you may have remembered we have the bookbinding set and case as well. That is going to make covering your album super easy, and I'll pop the tutorial for that down below as well on how to use that. Okay, so now we've covered that, we can now go ahead. I'm just going to grab a bone folder and I'm going to be needing my glue. This is Cosmic Shimmer. So just fold down all of your flaps here. If you find that your machine hasn't done a deep imprint on the score lines, these are straight score lines, so you can just go in with your scoreboard just to reinforce those. But I've used the Big Shot switch and it's done some really nice score lines, but I know everyone's machine is different. So if you'll find that when you're folding and you're getting a slightly wonky score line, you just need to go in there with a scoreboard. Okay, so now I have done that. Again, your bone folder will really help to get you some nice crisp lines here, because these pages are going to be turning. Okay, so we're going to start off with this large one at the back. Grab my glue and we're just going to add glue just along this section, and then we're going to pop this perfectly in the middle. Now don't worry about any of these dashed lines that are on here. I don't know if I'll be able to see, they are very faint, but they are there. Those aren't going to be visible at all once the pages are on. Okay, so I have this one on right in the center and I've tried to make it as straight as possible. I didn't want to add any more extra lines or dash lines or things because those would be visible. So just get these on as straight as you can. So this one here goes between this hinge here and this score line. It goes exactly in the center, and again try and keep it as straight as possible, because if you put these on wonky at this stage, then you will get wonky pages. So just have to be really careful about that. And then the last one. Okay, so that is all on now. What I suggest is you, as I've used glue especially, pop this aside and let that rest and set. You can use some red tape if you want, but because this is a mini album that you're making and you want it to last for years and years and years, wet glue is a good quality wet glue is your answer for that, because this is what is holding your pages in place. So you don't really want it to start falling apart a few years down the line, which has happened to me when I've used tape before. So I've learnt my lesson. I'm sticking with the glue. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside now because we're going to be using this in the next video, and we're just going to quickly now move over on how to use this for the landscape page. So the main page die on its side. Okay, so I am going to actually use my paper trimmer for this because I want exact cuts, but I already have the dashed lines to help me trim up with my scissors here. Okay, so this does give you the measurement. It's 4 inches. It says that on a die, and it does give you a little bit of an imprint just there. I don't know whether the camera is going to pick it up, but basically I've got the end here, this little dash line there, the end. I'm marking that up to the 4 inches and I'm just cutting that off. Okay, now do the same on the others. And doing it this way is just going to make sure that everything is cut out to exactly the same length. If you want to use your scissors, you can do, that's absolutely fine. But I do like to be quite precise. Okay, let's grab my scissors. You can keep these to make an extra tiny mini album, but you'll have to manually cut out your pages, and they would be 1 3/4 inch high and however long you want to make it. So if you want to keep these, you can do. Okay, so I now have these dashed lines that I'm just going to cut up and go up that one and down that one. This doesn't take long at all. And then the last one. There we go. Right, so again, fold everything down exactly how we did the first one. The concept is exactly the same. We've just trimmed these down now to hold the page on its side. Okay, so here I have the large, well, it's not the large, the full-sized binding. That's going to fit, this flap's going to be tucked in, so that is going to attach onto that one, and then you can have it on its side, and that is going to attach just there. Right, so that is how you do the binding for all of my mini albums. And in the next video, I'm going to be showing you how to do the page assembly for the, where is the die set gone? Here it is, for the small. We're going to be working on the small because that is my latest release. But the concept is exactly the same for the medium and the large. And I do have separate tutorials for these two die sets as well. So those will be linked down below. So thank you very much for joining me today. Give me a thumbs up if you like this one. Subscribe down in the corner. You can click that icon there for more lovely great stuff coming up, and I'll see you again in my next video.